Planet Dolan. From wristbands with all the answers to writing all the solutions on a lewd body part, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about cheating on tests. I'm Danger Dolan and today I will be narrating. Number 10 was submitted by TacoTownUSA. My friend Pringle found a great way to cheat. This guy knows a bit about electronics and he has photophobic eyes, which basically means that his eyes are super sensitive to light. And so he has to wear sunglasses a lot, even indoors, the cool guy. So for his final exam, he took a small, mildly flexible screen that he cannibalized from an old Nintendo DS, fit it into the inside of his right lens, and rigged it up to connect to his phone through a wire running down the earpiece and through his shirt, hidden by his hair. After finding a brightness that wouldn't destroy his eyes and a resolution he could read, he put all the formulas and notes on his phone and walked straight into class. Aside from the lack of depth perception, it went really well for him, even if it was needlessly complicated. Number 9 was submitted by Cooper775. Well, what Shima did to cheat on her test, the cheeky little cat she is, was to write the answers on her thigh, so that the teacher wouldn't be able to do anything even if he noticed she was looking at her own thigh quite often. He would come off as a creep if he were to ask her to pull up her pants so he could take a long, suspicious gander at her thighs. Unfortunately for others like Pringle, it doesn't work out so well. Number 8 was submitted by MentoToothpicks. This next story concerns Melissa. In order to cheat on her test, she created her own language so that each symbol would represent a letter. After memorizing the whole alphabet in her new language, she would write out the answers on the back of her binder. When the test came around and they had to clear their desks, she put the notebook on the floor and covered it with some papers. When the teacher wouldn't look, she would nudge the things on top of it over so that she could read it. If the teacher came by and saw it, they assumed it was gibberish and didn't question her. Later on, I did explain that if you're so desperate to cheat that you would literally make up a language to do so, then you may be better off, just studying the damn topic. Number 7 was submitted by Common Fate. When Gooby was in grade 5, she had a horrible teacher. Everyone in her class hated her. She gave impossible tests only people with photographic memory would pass. So for a particularly difficult test coming up, she and 2 of her friends met up and decided to cheat to pass. Her friend devised a way to cheat by making rubber band bracelets with paper on one end. They had to have 8 on each of their arms for a total of 65 answers. They didn't get caught, as rubber bands are always popular at school, and so Gooby passed the test with flan colours. Number 6 was submitted by Vtcrob. One time my brother wrote the answers on the side of his shoe, so all he had to do was tilt his foot slightly. Another time, taking inspiration from Pringle, he wrote the answers on the interior side of his glasses. All he had to do was take them off and act like he was thinking. And for the final exam, he wore contacts and carried glasses but didn't wear them. He wrote on the glass with a white marker, and because the desk was black, he could see all 40 answers to the quiz. He ended up getting 100% for every test. Number 5 was submitted by ClashmanTheDupe. This one time, Nixium managed to teach a homing pigeon to retrieve the answer sheet for himself mid-test. The teacher never saw it coming. Why would he think Nixium and the pigeon were in cahoots? I'm surprised Nixium didn't write the answers on the bird's thigh just to be absolutely certain he didn't get caught. Asking Shima to drop trowel is one thing, but asking a pigeon to bend over for examination is another thing entirely. Number 4 was submitted by TheRulerofEarth. This one happened to our friend Slapped Ham. Some kids were whispering and saying things in his class, and one of them says, very loudly, that the answers are on the back page of the test. To which the teacher is surprised. He instantly begins going around tearing the back page off their tests. When asked how the kid knew the answers were on the back of the test, he said, "Just look, a whole page of answers there. I thought they were part of the test." The teacher didn't make them retake the class or anything, so needless to say, everyone passed. As for how this happened, the teacher explained the next day. Apparently the Word document form on the test at the school all contain a copy of the answer key on the back of them. Since the printer staples the test together on its own without human input, it's the teacher's responsibility to not print the last page. Because that system makes sense. But the teacher didn't care that much. He even helped slap Ham with test answers he was stuck on. Great guy. Number 3 was submitted by Squashy Squid 69. Speaking of people who just don't care, for Hellbent's finals, he wrote all the answers from his study guide on his goddamn wiener. When it was time for the test, he pulled his pants 1/4 the way down, whipped out his wiener, and hid it from the teacher. He ended up only getting a B- because his classmates were like, "What the fuck? Why do you have your penis out? Holy shit!" Number 2 was submitted by Yesenia Rivera 585. The only time Emoji cheated on an exam was when she asked for help on a history exam in middle school, and her teacher told her the answer. She literally whispered the answer to Emoji so none of the other students would hear. It was very weird apparently, uncomfortable even. The hot, salty breath in her ear, the gentle hand on the shoulder, made her question if it was truly worth cheating at all. And now here's a story from me about what happened in high school. It was during my final exams. I had a test coming up for my photography/media class, and I had paid no attention in class all throughout that year. So just before the exam, I wrote pretty much the entire book on photography and media on a single sheet of paper. I condensed the whole thing. So during the exam, I unfolded the paper, just in the middle of the room, no fucks given, and I started to copy paste all the answers on there. The room was pretty big, there were a lot of students, so it wasn't too big of a deal. No one really noticed, I just kept hiding it every time a teacher came by. When the results came in, the teacher, who really didn't like me very much, said, "Good job, I'm incredibly suspicious as to how you did good on this subject that you've never shown any interest in." Now, obviously the better strategy would have been to write all the answers on my penis, but at the time, I had most of a brain. Huge thanks to the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the worst thing you ever got caught doing at school? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below and you might be featured in a future countdown. That's it for this video, and have a good one!
The reason Jackson shaved his head wasn't because he didn't want hair anymore. He did it to raise £700 for Cancer Research UK, saying he wanted to support the charity because 3 of his grandparents died from it. Instead of receiving a slap on the back from school officials for a job well done, they slapped him with a detention.